Hey, good evening, everybody. This is A.L. Johnson with A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency, your community-focused life insurance agency. I've got with me a special guest tonight. We're going to be talking about scholarships for women and girls. And so I have Ms. Sylvya Stevenson, the founder of and president of the National Congress of Black Women. How are you doing this evening?
I'm very well, A.L. Thank you for having me.
Good. So listen, if you guys are tuning in, I want you to go ahead and share this with your network. It's going to be some extremely important information. Grab your notepad on your phone or get your pen and your paper, but you're definitely going to want to take notes because there's some great things that are coming up in our city. We don't want you to miss out. And so first off, can you tell us a little bit about the National Congress of Black Women, who you are and what your mission is?
Absolutely. As you just eloquently introduced me, I am Sylvya Stevenson. I'm the founder and president of the National Congress of Black Women, Kansas City chapter. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit civic organization that socially and politically uplifts Black women and their families. And we're one chapter among 88 chapters in the U.S. But our headquarters is in Washington, D.C. So there is a national chapter of the National Congress of Black Women, co-founded by Shirley Chisholm, who was also the first woman to be elected to Congress. And she was the first president of the National Congress of Black Women. And so we see this as a legacy that this organization, the Kansas City chapter, has brought to Kansas City. And we're celebrating 11 years this November.
That's awesome. You guys do some great work. I remember a few years ago, you invited me out to the same event that's coming up. Yes. I'm going to post the flyer here in just a second. But I want to say to the people that are watching, when I say they put together an event well, they put it together well. I mean, there were breakout sessions, powerful speakers, a lot of good information for the women and girls that were there. You call it the Torch Carrier Conference. And so can you explain just the thought behind the name and why you guys chose that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I'm just going to talk about briefly how the Torch Carriers Conference came about. And the Torch Carriers Conference began first in 2014, and it wasn't called Torch Carriers Conference. It was in 2014. It was just a community event open to women and girls, and it was called a conversation among African American women and young girls. And the focus was to get Black women together in the same room with girls to learn how might we better support our Black girls through life changes, through growth, as they matriculate through the education system, at every aspect. So what happened? So as the actual community forum in 2014, the results of that, and through surveys, women and girls, well, at least the parents and adult women were asking, well, what's next? What we're talking about local solutions to local problems, but where are our takeaways? This conversation is great, but what's the next steps? What are the follow-ups? And so through brainstorming with National Congress of Black Women and a few other organizations, we felt there was something that needed to take place. We needed to have an opportunity for women and girls to connect across the region, like Missouri, Kansas, and just to be able to hear their voices, because women and girls do have a voice. Girls have a voice at this conference like they did before in 2014. And so what it does is we have a different theme each year, but the Torch Carrier Conference is designed to illustrate that the Black and brown women in our community are torch carriers. And they're torch carriers because we rely on the adult women not only to pass the torch, but do everything in our might, in our heart, and our soul to create a better future for our girls. And as everyone knows, the family, the woman is the nucleus of the family. It starts with us. It starts with us. And so we feel it's important that when we say we're passing the torch, we're holding women, the adult women, accountable of the progress of our girls as they matriculate and they leave home and they reach their educational career goals. We're counting on them to do the things that some of us weren't able to do, and many of us weren't able to do when we were their age. And so this is a success. I wouldn't say an attempt, because for the past 7 years, we've been very successful at this conference in connecting girls and women to community leaders, connecting them to career opportunities, and just introducing them to successful women and men with different disciplines and different backgrounds. I mean, these girls are in a room with leaders that I don't think I had the opportunity when I was a kid. And so it's very powerful. We've had elected officials speak. I'm conducting a workshop this year. It's called Ready, Set, Vote. And so I'm excited about that. But the purpose of this conference is to have Black women step up and do what we know we do and what we do well, and that is raise our babies and provide for them, and all the resources that we possibly can. So
I think that's so important. So our work is a little bit adjacent outside of life insurance, as most of you know. I have a nonprofit called Elevating Men, and we always talk about mentorship for boys. And so I love what you all are doing is creating that mentorship for the young ladies. We don't hear about that often enough, and the exposure is important. And so, as you said, you're exposing them to elected officials, career women of different disciplines. It's so important for them to see these things at a young age, because we become what we see. If we don't see better, we don't know how to do better. And so I love exactly what you're putting together. It makes perfect sense. I'm going to put the flyer up, and could you just do me a favor and run through the event and what people can expect there?
Yes. So the event is next Saturday, August 31st, and it's going to be located on Rockhurst University campus. And it's easily accessible. The location, Rockhurst University, is 5351 Forest Avenue. And that's right off between 51st and 53rd and Truce. I mean, you cannot get lost. There will be signs. It's just, if you just put your address in, do your GPS, you'll make it there without any issues. What else about the event? The theme of this conference, we have a different theme each year. So this year, the theme is breaking barriers and building careers outside of college. That's huge, because we know, not just this year and prior years, but onward in the future, we know that young people have choices, and not everybody wants to go to college. College isn't for everyone. College is expensive. Tuition continues to increase each year. When tuition increases, that the difference is basically pushed on to the parent or to the student. And you think about students who maybe don't have parents, or they're taking on the financial load. So that's building future debt for them. So you have so many reasons to why people choose not to do college, because one, you don't have to have a college degree to be a successful entrepreneur. And we're going to have speakers that are just that are successful in their entrepreneurship, and they want to just illustrate to these women and girls that if I can do it, you can do it, or you can do it even better. Yeah, it's just with the future workforce. I mean, we already start to see it now because of the cost of education, a decline in college enrollment. So how are we preparing our students? You do see high schools, you got ProX summer internship, Kaufman, a lot of different institutions are now starting to incorporate curriculums in high school and after school program that involve real life learning, so kids so these youth are learning skills in high school so they can have some type of trait, some type of vocational skill or knowledge before. So while they're in high school, if college is not what they want, they can say, well, I've done this internship 3 times since I've been in high school. I've developed these experience with working in government with Parks Plus Rec, or I've been working in the mayor's office. I think I'm gonna have a job in public service, and I have this experience that I've built already. So it's really important, I think, that this conference highlights and illustrate through entrepreneurs and business women and men what careers are possible without a college degree. And they pay some good money. We're talking about certifications. It's a lot of information that youth don't have, and sometimes adults don't have.
Exactly. So we had a conference a month ago, and actually it was last weekend. We had a man come in, and he was from the tech industry, and I had no idea about this myself. And so he said that there are internships in the tech space where you need a certification, and the internships are paying $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about, you don't have to go, get $20,000 to $30,000 a year in debt for a college degree to make a good living. That's absolutely true. The trucking industry, like you said, being an entrepreneur. And so there's so many options. It's important that we expose our children to those as early as possible so they can really figure out what it is that they want to do. Just like with anything else, the first time you're exposed, a lot of times you're resistant, or you just absorb the information and it takes a little bit for you to process it. And so the earlier we can get that information in front of them, the better. So that when they come out of high school, they actually, have a roadmap or a plan that they can follow and be a success in life. And so I absolutely love that. There was something that you mentioned to me, and I've got the flyer here. I want to talk about it just a little bit. You said that there were some scholarships available. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So the National Congress of Black Women, we have one of our signature programs is our scholarship program. And the scholarship program awards scholarships to traditional college students, and that means students that are high school graduating seniors going off to college, or some other type of institution. It doesn't have to be a 4-year university, but it's those, when we say traditional college students, we're really talking about straight out of high school to some sort of post-secondary education. And then there's the non-traditional scholarships, and that is for non-traditional students. These are students that are already enrolled in colleges or universities or vocational study, and they meet the eligibility, they meet the criteria of the scholarship. So you just have to be enrolled in so many hours. So if you're a working adult and you have a family and you need some support, this is an opportunity for a working adult who's decided to go back to school to better themselves and their family, or maybe a student who took a break and they're struggling with getting financial support. And so this is an opportunity, again, not just for your traditional college students coming out of high school, graduating seniors and going into college, but those who are, going back to school, currently enrolled. So it's exciting. So and it's actually making a huge difference in the community, because folks are like, oh, I didn't know. I'm in my mid 40s, and
Right.
I have to pay $1,000 just to get enrolled, and I don't have that right now. Well, you can apply for our scholarship, and you're likely to get it. I mean, the requirements are very simple. They're not extreme.
So for those of you that are just tuning in, I'm speaking with Sylvya Stevenson, the president of the Kansas City chapter of the National Congress of Black Women. We are talking about scholarships for girls and women to get into non-traditional career fields. And so we're talking about graduating seniors, but also adults. If you're looking for a career change, if you're trying to increase your income or get on a specific career path, there are scholarships available through the National Congress of Black Women. I'm going to put that flyer up one more time. For those of you that are watching, share this, because I'm sure that if it's not yourself, there's someone that you know who's looking to make a change, and this is an opportunity for them. Can you tell them how they can actually apply for the scholarship?
Absolutely. So I see that you have our website scrolling across the screen. You just go to ncbwkansascity.org, no space. That's our website. And for those who love acronyms, you can go to Google and just type NCBWKC, and we're gonna come up. Actually, if you type in Black Women Organizations, we're the first organization that comes up, and individual footprint. So that's exciting. It took a long ways to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So NCBWKC, and that website. Just scroll down the page. You'll see apply for the 2024 Vibe Brilliantly Scholarship. And so once we select our scholarship recipients, they are awarded at our annual scholarship gala, which is usually the first or second week in November during our anniversary. So they go hand in hand. So that is in celebration of our anniversary, we're giving back by awarding scholarships and honoring nonprofits, individual men and women in the community. This is Missouri and Kansas for the great work that they do in serving our communities. And that event is going to be November 9th of this year.
I'm going to go ahead and put the flyer up for you. And so if they want to attend, they would just go to the website below, NCBW.
Yep, everything's on our website. And AL, I will say that the flyer that you have up is the early bird special flyer, but that has concluded. The last day to get your tickets for $80. Okay. The last day to get your tickets for $80 was Monday, August 19th. But this event is so worth the price, the regular price. The regular price is $125. We're a 501c3, and so these items are tax deductible. But I want to talk a little bit about the gala, because the gala it continues to grow each year. We anticipate a little over 500 people this year, and our seats are always filled. They're filled. 50% of our tables are sponsorships, and the rest are just individuals wanting to support us. You have a great time. You have from 6 to 7 is the cocktail reception with entertainment. You're going to have appetizers. Everyone gets a one drink ticket of their. They can buy whatever with that one drink ticket. And then you have it's going to be amazing. There's so many areas, different photography sections where you can take pictures and hang out with your folks, your partners and girlfriends. I'm actually the keynote speaker. This is my first year speaking for the organization at the gala, so I'm really excited about that. But we just have a huge, DJ Q is our DJ. There's a party afterwards. The event's from 6 to 11 at the Convention Center, Kansas City, Missouri Convention Center, across from Lowe's. So you can get you a hotel room and just call it a date night, or your homegirls can go out. But it's open to the public. It's our annual fundraiser. So we're excited. We're thrilled. It's black tie, and if some people don't have black tie, you can dress formal, but you have to dress for the occasion. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that information. We had a question here from Dinner and Dialogue. How can women join NCBW, and how do women and men support the organization?
Great question. So on our website, there's quite a few ways you can get involved. For one, you can become a member. You can join, and the website link that's scrolling across the screen, you go there and you can't miss it. If you just look at the buttons on the menu, it'll say become a member, or become a member. You click there, and applying for membership is seamless. However, not everyone is accepted. You have to be invited into the organization, because our mission and our purpose and our mission that God has us, to do and to carry out our mission of National Congress of Black Women and our purpose and passion, we can't just have any sister join. And so the enrollment process is it's an enrollment process. So you apply, you'll get notified within 24 to 48 hours that your application has been accepted. And then we're going to set up an interview because we want to get to know you. We want to get to know who we're bringing into the community, who we're bringing into our organization, and how you can contribute and what you plan to take away from the organization. So we have an interview, and then after the interview, the membership committee reaches out to that prospective person and congratulates them if they've been accepted into the organization, or they may not be accepted into the organization. It's all about how that interview goes, because that's real. We didn't used to do that, and then we had anyone joining. And with us, it's not about the dollars, because there is an annual membership due of $125. We have the most affordable membership due in the entire region when you look at a professional Black women's organization. But we really we take it serious on who we bring into the organization, and we don't just sit around and be cute, be boots on the ground.
You do the work. You do the work.
Do the work.
And this is what I love. Everybody doesn't have the opportunity to go to college and pledge a sorority, and we know that a lot of that is about the sisterhood or the brotherhood, the connection, and the fact that people can join an organization. $125. People spend that on a night out, more than that, and so to be able to be connected to people that are moving in a direction that you'd like to go, the value is there 100%. I love the scholarships that you all are doing. I love that it's for all ages. It's not just for graduating seniors. And so you all are providing a wealth of information, a wealth of opportunity. And I really believe that women should take advantage of it. And so you see the website scrolling at the bottom, ncbwkansascity.org. It's extremely important. I got another question here, Nashina Nicole.
I did want to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I did want to go back to the other question regarding how can men get involved. We're always looking for male speakers because you have a different perspective that women don't have. So this year we have a couple of male speakers at the Torch Carriers Conference, but we could use men just volunteering with us at our community events, male organization and male mentorship programs and groups. They can collaborate with us and just dual projects. It could be related to education. A lot of times we just ask people to email us, go to our website and go to contact us and just reach out. We have a committee that reviews those invitations, those partnership invitations, and we do communicate. We do respond back to people who reach out to us because that's important. I know in the Black community, a lot of folks don't return calls. We return calls because that speaks to our reputation and our sisterhood and our leadership. And so just reach out to us if you have an opportunity that you think it may be a great fit for collaboration.
Love it, love it. So there was a question here: what does being a member consist of?
Okay, so it's on the website, but I'm going to briefly, without talking forever, I'm going to share. So membership consists of, well, for one, the membership makeup is women from all walks of life. We have a youth chapter ages 13 to 17 for girls. We just launched a collegiate chapter, and I'm thinking, because this is not my doing, this is the youth education and training committee. They are going hard and strong, so they have just launched a collegiate chapter on UMKC's campus, and it's National Congress of Black Women, Kansas City, but it's the collegiate chapter for college students at the UMKC campus. But what membership consists of, we're a volunteer service organization. Yes, you are paying a membership due, but you're also serving. It's important that we remain visible in the community. So it consists of completing a minimum of 5 volunteer hours a year. That may seem not like a lot of hours, but you'd be surprised. Women join and you don't see them. So we're like, hey, you've been invited to all these things. We've been calling you and it's crickets. So that's why we're very selective on who we bring in the organization, because it's not a game. This is a legacy. It's real. And so we expect you to serve. We expect you to be an active member. But if you can't be an active member, we have other opportunities. And that is, you could be a member of NCB. You could be, it's called a friend of NCBW. You could be an individual or corporate sponsor. And that's an annual sponsorship to support us financially. So if you can't, because at the very beginning, when a member joins, before they even see people, they're going to be, the membership committee does an awesome job with explaining what the expectations are, what they can expect. You're going to get a calendar of events. And that's why we do the interview. One of the questions we ask sisters is, tell us about your commitment level, and then that's where you get the realness. People, be real with us, because we don't want you to waste your time. We don't want you to waste our time. And so, but the expectation is on our website under how to become a member. But yeah, your volunteer hours, sisterhood, just be, and honestly, it's just a common goal or common shared interest of wanting to make a difference in the community. And if you're one of those people, one of those sisters who have ideas, but you haven't had the right organization or institution or group to channel it through, that can be National Congress of Black Women. We have a lot of sisters who, and they give the credit for it. These are women who are creating programs. Hey, I have this idea. So we give our members, during our annual membership retreat, we give them an opportunity to submit a project proposal for a pilot in the incoming year. So for 2025, we're going to have no more than two or three pilot projects in 2025. And these are just ownership. These are members. These are sisters. Their projects, not signature events of NCBW, but it's channeled through National Congress of Black Women. I mean, you're going to have connections, networks. If you're looking to serve on boards and commissions, you're going to get the connections through National Congress of Black Women. Not just Black women organizations, but white women organizations. If you want to expand your establish professionalism or grow your professional network, this is a great organization to connect you. I mean, there's so many things we get invited to just because they know what it's like to have a beautiful Black sister in the room, especially when you're educated or you got people backing you, supporting you. You can expect support, educational support, entrepreneur support. We're getting ready to launch a new entrepreneurship program. And we're in the process of trying to secure funding for it. So there's a lot going on. The organization, I'm really blessed with the leaders that are in National Congress of Black Women, because they've been able to solidify the foundation and provide ownership, and lead. And sometimes it's hard to ask our sisters to lead. And there's a lot of us who already lead, but our young girls and our young women need to see us. I know it's okay to lead behind the scenes. It is okay to lead behind the scenes, and that's okay. We don't knock sisters for that. But young people, boys and girls, men and women, they need to see us. They need to see us, to see the realness, what can be true, what can become of them, or either something greater. But don't get me wrong. Working behind the scenes, those people are critical. We need them. But yeah, so I hope I answered their question. I didn't go into everything, absolutely, but just a few points.
No, you guys are doing a lot. So I know that was a lot to get out in a short amount of time, but we definitely appreciate you answering that question. We had another one come in. Yep, she said, I love this. Thanks for answering. So again, if you want to get more information, you can go to ncbwkansascity.org. Last question here. It sounds as if you're presiding over the local chapter. And if there are other chapters around the nation, that sounds like your power extends beyond KC. That's absolutely correct. This is a national organization. Do you all have like an annual meetup or anything with the other chapters, or how does that look?
So we are a chapter, and there are other chapters. There's Atlanta chapter, Dallas chapter, Houston chapter, Illinois, Cleveland, Ohio, Los Angeles chapter in the Bay Area. I mean, there's a chapter in Tennessee. There's so many chapters, and the national headquarters, they just had an election, and they have a new board. They have a new leadership, and I was actually invited to, but I couldn't do it this year. There's some other personal matters I have on, but it was an honor to be asked to be nominated to serve on the national board. So that'll happen don't know, maybe in a couple of years. But we do have an annual. We do have an annual. You grown. You got to say no to like leadership opportunities.
Right.
And that's one of the things we talk about. We learn it, and we talk about with our sisters in National Congress of Black Women is managing your commitments. Because once you get out there and people see your potential, and you're able to talk about what your goals are, what you're looking to accomplish, everybody's gonna want you. But we take care of our families. We got to take care of ourselves first. And so it's important to manage your commitment. And that's kind of why I said no, because I didn't have the capacity. But there's an annual leadership conference, usually in July. And then in September, which I don't think they're going to have it this year because the new board just got elected like last week. So, but every September they have their annual awards brunch in Washington, D.C. And that's when, it's pretty huge. And, but yeah, I would love for us to have a leadership conference here. We're getting close, and I think we have the membership and the will to carry out a leadership conference here in Kansas City with the partnership from other organizations here in the metro, but not as a standalone, but as a partnership. That's a great question.
This is live, and so if you're just now tuning in, we're speaking with Sylvya Stevenson, president of the Kansas City chapter of the National Congress of Black Women. She has a couple of events coming up that are crucial for our young women in our community, as well as the older ones. And so I have a final question. I love to ask this question. I think it's important. From your perspective, and outside of the National Congress of Black Women, I know that you work for the city of Kansas City, Missouri, and so there's a whole host of things that you're doing. But I'm gonna tie that in.
I don't work for the city of Kansas City anymore.
What?
I work for Jackson County government.
Jackson County. Okay, got it. So you have a unique perspective, and so I have to ask you this: if you had 3 wishes, so like Genie's lamp falls out of the sky, falls in your lap right now, you have 3 wishes for our city. And it can't have anything to do specifically with you. I want you to think about that for just a second. What are your 3 wishes for our community? And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to one last time put all of the events up on the screen so everyone has an opportunity to see what all we have going on. And so on the 31st of this month, so we don't have much time left, we have the Women and Girls Torch Carrier Conference. You can visit ncwkansascity.org. Get your tickets. You want to show up there. This is going to be an opportunity for your young girls as well as women to break barriers and build careers outside of college. And so if you're looking for non-traditional career paths such as tech, whether it be being an entrepreneur, even the trucking industry, the information and the people that you need to connect with there will be at that event. And so you want to take advantage of that. There are also scholarships that are available, and this is for graduating senior, as well as adult women who have already been out of college, never went to college, but they're just looking to change career path.
Yeah.
That's there for them as well. And we have the Ebony Rose Gala. And so all of the information that I just shared with you, it's at ncwkansascity.org. You can see it at the bottom of your screen. Go visit their website, catch up on everything that the National Congress of Black Women is doing, and I'm sure you'll be pleased. And so back to you. 3 questions, three wishes.
So AL, there's something that I do have to, before I answer the question, in just 4 seconds, if I can just kind of highlight the phenomenal speakers that we have for the Torch Carriers Conference this year.
Please do.
We have Fatima Parrish, and she is the president and CEO of Parrish and Sons Construction. We have Cassandra Foster. She is the owner and therapist. She's a family and individual therapist at Ascend Counseling Wellness. We have Terrence Frazier. He is he's entrepreneur, owner, and principal of the Talented 11th Ecosystem. We have Latasha Crawford, and she is the owner and CEO of Miscellaneous Staffing Services, so staffing agency. We have Leslie Walton, and she is the founder and owner of A Sense of Change, and that is financial wellness and financial self-discovery. It's amazing how many. We have Jamila Robinson Frazier. She is the urban grind for badges to bosses. We have Donald Taylor. He is frontline protection services. We have Latoya Rosoff. She is a human resources professional. And we also have the health industry, because there are several, which people don't know, there are several jobs and careers in healthcare that do not require a college degree.
Love it. Thank you so much for everything that you do. For those of you that are just tuning in, I see some new people pouring in. Everybody's getting off work. They're trying to see what we're talking about. This is Sylvya Stevenson with the National Congress of Black Women. We're talking about their upcoming Torch Carriers event. You need to bring your young ladies there. It's going to expose them to a lot of successful women that they can model after. It'll give them an opportunity to dream and picture themselves in their future. And so we want you to take advantage of that. Ms. Stevenson was going to share with us her 3 wishes for the community. What are those?
Well, and this is because I have my government cap on and my nonprofit and purpose cap on. And the first wish that I have is for the community to be able to, we need capital, we need money, we need funds. And I know a lot of agencies and institutions rely on government funding. And I'm gonna tell you, there's so many threats to revenue sources of government, such as property tax, reduction in sales tax, and these are taxes, revenues that support outside agencies, nonprofits, schools, institutions. So when, and that's why this election year is so important. When you have the federal government or the state, threatening to reduce your revenue structure, revenue sources, that's money they're taking away from education. That's money they're taking away from resources and support to nonprofit agencies that are on the ground doing the work, supporting families, mental health. And so my wish is that we need a valuable infrastructure of funding for the needs of the community. Because, and I'm not saying this to scare people, there's so much money out there nationally, money to apply for grants and things of that nature. But we need capital in our community. We need capital to bring in more jobs, create more entrepreneurship opportunities, create, jobs where kiddos, young folks can not have to, rely on, but I'm going to say it, just transportation. So when you have more funding poured into your community and the funding is allocated to the right places, like transportation, it's unfortunate that that transportation is not a priority. That's one of the issues why we have people not able to get to good jobs, because they don't have adequate transportation. So my wish would be, like I said, funding, the infrastructure of funding, and then that to be allocated appropriately and where it needs to be, where the needs are. The second wish is us addressing transportation needs, because when you build jobs but you don't get create a means to get there, then that doesn't do anything for the community. So that I would say transportation. And finally, my wish would be, this is a real good question. My third one would be that Black leaders of organizations, I wish that, and this day will come soon, I know it will, but I wish that we all can collaborate and as one nucleus, one system, one structure, and apply for all of that money that's out there for us, that's waiting for us, as a collective. Like, I don't care if it's like 10, 20 Black organizations, apply for all these millions and millions of dollars. And it's like, without feeling like you're handing over your knowledge or something, or you're giving something up or giving it away. I think if we work together and collaborate more, there's so much more we can provide for our community. And I know I'm not the only one that wish that.
You
I
are
know
not. You
I'm
are
not.
not.
And it
Thank
seems
you.
like it's a
Thank you.
long reach to get.
Yeah.
But it starts with us, because we're capable. We can get grants,
Yeah.
but it's the
Absolutely.
big money that we need pouring into our community. So I would say those are my 3 wishes.
Thank you so much. We get in our own way sometimes, and so I love that last wish: less competition and more collaboration. And
Absolutely.
honestly, I think it's a mental health issue. When we don't get the praise and the support that we need growing up as adults, we're searching for validation. And so when it comes to creating these organizations and these businesses and structures, we want to go at it alone so that we can get the individual praise versus being a part of a collective. And we go much farther together. And so I appreciate that wish. I've asked that to so many people on this show. And that's one of the only times that I actually heard that. And so I appreciate you for having that type of mindset. You're doing great work with the National Congress of Black Women. If there's any way that A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency or Elevating Men can support, we are always there for you. And so we thank you for tuning in, everyone who's watching. You can go ahead and catch the replay. It'll be on the YouTube channel, the A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency. You can also go to my page, A.L. Johnson, but make sure that you share this with someone because this was some valuable information that can help our women in our community. Did you have any last words or final thoughts or anything that I didn't ask you that you just want to make sure you get out?
Well, AL, I just want to thank you for all that you do. I mean, this is an important, significant platform, and I'm glad that you are continuing to carry out your purpose and mission and serving people of Kansas City in the entire metro. Because I know it's not just Missouri, it's Kansas. You have a pretty long reach. But this is important, and I'm happy to come back on whenever you invite me or whenever you need me to. And if there's anything that National Congress of Black Women can do for you, I know you got a couple of events coming up one coming up in September. You told me about,
yes,
and
ma'am.
and so we definitely want to support you any way that we can. And so you and I will link up offline to figure out how we can support you and how we can contribute.
Thank you so much. Well, everyone, there you have it. National Congress of Black Women, Sylvya Stevenson. Follow her information scrolling down below, ncbwkansascity.org. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you next time. Give them a wave.